the show, I've got something people have been begging for. There's a certain community that has been begging for this, and well, it finally happened. Jeep has finally came out with 35s on a two-door Wrangler. That's right, 35s. And Jeep has been slow to make changes. And well, they brought the Recon package out a couple years ago on the 4-doors, and 2-door guy was like, hey, where are we at with this? Why are we getting left out? And well, finally they came around and offered that. I have a feeling the other brand offering their Sasquatch package might have helped speed this process up, but we haven't drove a 2-door Jeep in it's been a long time, and I'm kind of excited to do it with factory 35. So let's get into this right now. She's all muddy and ready to go. We're in Wisconsin. We're at a press event, and they had this here and said, hey, do you want to drive this? Jeep said, and I was like, well, why would I not want to drive the new Wrangler with 35s being 2-doors? Now, ideally, everybody loves a 2-door Jeep because it's nimble. It's almost like having a side-by-side, basically. You're getting a short wheelbase. They're easy to go off-roading. You know, you can crawl over about anything, but they've always lacked bigger tires, and well, finally, Jeep has given us that in the Recon package. And as you can see here, I love the wheels on this thing. They are a great-looking wheel, and they are a bead-lock capable wheel, which is very nice. We're gonna get the BF Goodrich like KO2s on this thing, and it's a Rubicon, so you know what that means. It's gonna be locked front and rear, so if you want to do all the off-road things, you can definitely do that. This has the modular bumper on it, so if you want to add the old winch to it, guess what? Pop that out, drop a winch in it, you're ready to go. If you need a little more clearance for them big tires, well, we can pop these end caps off and ready to go. And I love the new color of this thing. Jeep knows how to do it, and with this anvil color and the red with the black writing, it just looks really aggressive. And of course, you know, it's trail rated, right? It's a Jeep. It's got to be trail rated to be a Jeep Wrangler. Now you're getting some rock sliders on this, and we are very familiar with this vehicle because, well, we had a Gladiator a couple years ago for a long-term tester, and it feels very similar to our Gladiator, as it should. All Jeeps should feel like I should be able to get in one from another, and they feel comfortable, ready to go. Now, something the 2-door Life has that you might need is yeah, there's not a ton of space in this thing. Definitely, these are take the top off, run around town with these things, and you can go, if it's 2 people, go off-roading really nicely. But past that, you're probably gonna need to fold some things down, and even at that, cargo, it's a 2-door. Cargo space is always at a premium in a 2-door, but that's okay. We wouldn't buy this, is be a beach kit or something like that for me, but you're going to get, you know, get some aux power back here. You do get a little bit of lights, and the aftermarket community has solved a lot of problems of giving us places to store some things in there. Of course, getting some tow hooks, the red tow hook there, that's really nice. And overall, it's a Jeep, man. I love the heritage that they do. They're really big into showing, hey, we're proud of where we've came from. And, you know, I like the fact that every time I drive through Toledo, guess what? I know these things have been built there. Now, one thing they had to do was they had to add the brace to it because, well, you're adding a bigger tire. There's a lot of stress on this, but guess what they also did? See my little finger right there? If you need to put a flag up for if you're going off-roading in the dunes or wherever you're required to do that, or CB antenna, I like the fact that they thought about that and gave us a little bit of little extra. Now, being a Recon, you're gonna have these ugly fenders. It is what it is. Some states require that you have your tire cannot be sticking out over there. So Jeep's accommodated that, though I have seen the community take those off really quickly. Now, as we look inside this thing, if you've been in a Jeep, you've been in a Jeep. There's not a lot of, you know, I won't say it's not special, but they haven't changed too much over the years. Of course, we're getting the new big infotainment center. That was new for this year, which I like. That was a great addition to the brand. I do like that, kind of like this kind of carbon fiber look to it, and all the little trim features. Now this thing is plushed out, and once again, I'll put the price as tested in there. But if you've seen one Jeep, I'm not going to go into too much detail in here because it feels just like our Gladiator, and once again, that's how they should feel. So now let's go get this thing off-road and see if we can get it more dirty. All right, it's been a minute since we've been in a Jeep product. And kind of excited when we saw the 2-door there. It was this or a 392, and I was like, my heart says 392. Yes. But I was like, you know what, I haven't got to be in a 2-door, and I don't think Kelly's ever wheeled a 2-door Jeep, so
no, absolutely not.
So we'll give her a chance to get behind the wheel here in just a minute and have some fun. But kind of 2-doors, you know, I know there's a certain crowd that the only true Jeep is a 2-door Wrangler. Yes. And they weren't happy about the 4-doors. 4-doors are more practical for families, but I get it. The small nature of this thing, definitely for where we're about to go, it's going to be tight. I think there's a lot of appeal there for having a small vehicle like this, but you basically need to be just a pair of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless you're taking your whole family, then you want to look at the 4-doors. But if you're looking for this as only an off-road vehicle with a little bit of daily driving, then I would definitely say the 2-door is where it's at.
Right. Feels at home though. I do like the new infotainment center they've
Same.
got there. It's a lot nicer. We had the like 7-point whatever. It was the tinier of the screens in our Gladiator. So I like that, and we're getting all the cool off-road functions because it is a Rubicon. Look how easy the little thing turns around this corner.
I knew this was going to be like a go-kart.
Right. Yeah. This is definitely a lot of fun. You know, obviously our channel's known for a lot of Bronco content, but we grew up with Jeeps. I love Jeeps still. I'm happy to see the kind of changes they've made in the interior of this thing. I think they were well needed. Electric seats being one. But the price of these things, in Recon fashion, this one is expensive. And I'll put the price up so you can get an idea what these things cost. But they're getting pricey, Kelly. And I almost feel like off-road vehicles are getting, you know, people want to get out and explore and maybe not worry about what it costs to do it. And when your vehicle is getting you to the $70,000 range, that's getting hard to take the family out and go off-roading.
Yeah, it becomes a very expensive hobby because there is assumed risk when you're taking these vehicles out off-road. If you are taking it off the street, there is assumed risk that there's potential for damage to your vehicles. And I know we have a car payment. I know most of America is going to have a car payment when they buy these vehicles. So I definitely feel like it's a heavy-duty risk that people are taking. And are they willing to hit the numbers that we're starting to see with these?
Right. That is definitely especially with interest rates the way they are right now. Or do the fun vehicles get kind of killed off for a while because of they're so expensive to do? Of course, safety, a lot of safety features that go into these things, so that's going to jack the price up a little bit as well. But if you want one of the most capable vehicles out there, this 2-door Wrangler in Rubicon fashion with 35s from the factory is definitely probably the most capable that you can just go out and buy.
It's like what we've talked about. It's plug and play right off the lot.
Yep, which is a big thing. I think a lot of people want to get into the adventure side, and they don't want to be intimidated by aftermarket. And I think that's where companies like this it's great for somebody. You can go in, get a capable vehicle, and we always say wheel what you have and learn to add to it. Well, if you start with the best, you're learning with top-notch equipment.
100%. And honestly, you know, those that can afford these bigger vehicle or these bigger price points are the folks that don't necessarily want to modify it out of the gate. They want to just have that plug and play. And like we've talked about, as we've gotten older, the less we want to do that self-modification to the vehicles themselves.
And I think this Recon package with the 2-door is perfect.
100%. And it's just going through these these twists and turns where, you know, some of the longer vehicles that are coming through here, you're worrying about hitting a tree.
Yeah.
We're just crawling through because of that short wheelbase.
Yeah, and of course you've got your front camera on. You know, the optional cameras with these things makes it nice. You can see it. I like how on the screen it shows the yellow line is turning with it, so I don't feel like, oh, it's got a straight line, it's kind of showing me. No, it's literally showing me where the front wheels should be, so that's a nice feature as well. Kelly, this kind of feels a home, right?
It does.
On the highway, you might not like the Jeep as bad or as well because they don't, you know, solid axle. They are going to handle, you got to participate to drive, I always say that, but all the features, I love this camera, by the way. Nice big screen, very high def screen. Of course, you got, you know, we don't look behind us. You always never look behind you, always go forward.
Unless you're backing up.
But we got a couple little crawlers up here. I'm curious to see how well you handle them. So let's get out and, can she do it? We'll find out.
I think I can do it. So you know what to do if you want to see more content like this. You're going to have to
gonna have to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button for us. We love bringing off-road content, especially with new manufacturers like this. They're fun, latest products. We love testing them. So whether we two-wheel drive,
four-wheel drive,
or this badass two-door Jeep Wrangler that we get to drive, all thanks to you guys. This has been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.